Hi everyone, I'm back and I want to read you another of my favorite Passover stories. This one is called How Uncle Murray Saved the Seder. So here it is by Rosalind Schilder. It's fun to listen to before you have a Seder, and it's also fun to listen to after you have a Seder to see all the things that he did in order to get ready and also through the Seder, to see if some of the things are the same things that you did. Aunt Helene finished vacuuming and collapsed on the sofa. I wish we could do something about Passover, she said to Uncle Murray, absent-mindedly wiping her forehead with a dustcloth. No matter how much work we do to get ready for the holiday, it's never enough. You're right, said Uncle Murray as he dusted a cat napping on the piano. Enough is enough, but I have an idea. Why don't we skip some of the things we do every year? Great idea, said Aunt Helene. If we get rid of all the chametz and don't buy matzah, it will be enough, said Uncle Murray. So they scrubbed and they scoured and they dusted and they mopped and they vacuumed the house from top to bottom. We did a fine job, said Uncle Murray as they searched with their candle, feather, and spoon. And I'm going to be filming myself at my house hunting for chametz in a couple of days. There is no food anywhere, said Aunt Helene. We have to buy some matzah. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we buy matzah and no other Passover food, it will be enough. And it will be enough, the Hebrew word is Dayenu. So when Uncle Murray or Aunt Helene says it will be enough, you at your home can say Dayenu. So they went to the supermarket and piled their cart high with boxes and boxes of matzah. We'll get sick of eating nothing but matzah for 8 days, said Aunt Helene as she unloaded the bags. Maybe we should have bought other foods. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we buy other Passover foods and do not invite guests to share it with, it will be enough. And now you say, Dayenu. So they went back to the supermarket and they loaded their cart with gefilte fish, apples, nuts, sponge cake, eggs, matzah meal, and macaroons. So much food. Oh, sorry, this is Aunt Helene. So much food and no one to share it, said Aunt Helene as they put all the packages away in her clean cupboards. Let's invite a few guests. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we invite guests and we do not have the Seder, it will be enough. And you say, Dayenu. So Aunt Helene and Uncle Murray telephoned their 9 nieces and nephews. They prepared a big dinner. They chopped and they sliced and they baked and they cooked all day long. When all the guests arrived and were seated around the table, Aunt Helene looked at the unlit candles and she looked at the empty Kiddush cups. We have to light the candles, she said. And after all, it's Passover, and then we can recite the Kiddush. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we start the Seder and do not ask the 4 questions, it will be enough. And you say, Dayenu. So Aunt Helene lit the candles and everyone sang the Kiddush. And then Uncle Murray began to read from the Haggadah. When they came to the 4 questions, they stopped. We have to ask them, said Adina. I've been practicing all week. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we ask the 4 questions and we do not tell the story of Passover, It will be enough. And you say, Dayenu. So Adina got up and sang all the 4 questions. When she finished, no one said a word. We have to tell the story, said Elliot, so we can find out the answers, added Jill. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we tell the story and do not taste the bitter herbs, it will be enough. And you say, Dayenu. Oh, wow, look at this. So they began to read. And at the end it said, and now we are free. But when they came to the part about the bitter life under Pharaoh, the ruler, they stopped again. We have to taste the bitter herbs and the matzah and the charoset, said Lenore, to remind us of our life as slaves in Egypt. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we taste the special foods and we do not eat the Seder meal, it will be enough. And you say, Dayenu. So Aunt Helene passed around the bitter herbs, and she passed around the matzah and the charoset. And if you get to eat some bitter herbs, it might make you cry a little bit because it's very, very bitter. We are going to be, my husband and I planted a part of the horseradish in the garden last year, and this year we're digging it up and we're going to be using it for our bitter herbs. Then it was time for the Seder meal. We have to eat it, said Jonah. Aunt Helene and Uncle Murray worked so hard to prepare it. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we eat the meal and we do not share the afikomen, it will be enough. And you say, Dayenu. Everyone was so hungry that the delicious food quickly disappeared. And their table looks a little bit like the same Seder table that we saw in the Passover parrot. When it was time for dessert, Laurie and Judith proudly came forward with the afikomen. We have to eat it, they said, because we found it. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we share the afikomen and we do not welcome Elijah, it will be enough. And you say, Dayenu. So Uncle Murray traded the afikomen for $2 silver, and everyone ate a piece of the matzah. Now it was time to welcome Elijah the prophet. We have to open the door, said Laurie. I think I hear him. Good idea, said Uncle Murray. If we greet Elijah and we do not sing the Seder songs, it will be enough. And you say, Dayenu. So Larry filled Elijah's cup and Laurie opened the door. Everyone watched to see if any of the wine disappeared. At some houses, we also have a Miriam's cup. They looked at Uncle Murray. We have to sing the songs, said Ronald. What's a Seder without songs? Good enough, said Uncle Murray. If